What's going on, folks? Painless. Back in the house. There's been a lot of going on with certain content creators. It's raining outside that door. Yeah, a lot of saber rattling, and I see people. I see people having nervous breakdowns, man. Shit is hilarious. And I've said that this people have not approached me, but people have emailed me and said, "Hey, Painless, why don't you get your Cash App and all that?" And I remember putting my PayPal some years ago back on here, and maybe I did it right. I don't know. But, make a long story short, I don't do this for income. I admit that I did used to put out more content, but I don't know. It's just sometimes maybe I'm thinking about, and I've said this before, I've said that maybe this is when, what was that, Blog Talk Radio. I'm not even sure that's popping anymore. But I'll get around to it. YouTube, it's, with all the shadow banning and, it's different now. It is. And like I said, I've been doing this for a long time, which brings me to the point. There are some age-old topics that still haven't gone away. I've talked about this new manufactured, packaged gender war, where now, see, all the people that, in this almost slipped my mind, and I see it. And when it was brought to me, I was like, oh, snap, yeah, that's, and what it is, all the people that were listening to, like, me, some of y'all may be in y'all's mid-20s, maybe some of y'all may be in y'all's early 30s now. Like, I didn't factor in the time lapse in this. Like, I've been on YouTube since '09. That's 12 damn years ago. 12 years ago. So people are probably, and I mean, shit, you take a kid that was listening to me at 18, this guy is, 31? Early 30s, like I said. Some of y'all in y'all's early 30s. I mean, obviously, I think a lot of my audience were mixed, not in terms of age and ethnicity, But yeah, I'm just seeing certain people that have been doing it just as long as me can't bear the brunt that there's a new sheriff in town, and for the life of me, it's just hilarious to see how the mind is, how attention is, and just to get back on, I was saying about doing this for monetary purposes. I've never gotten paid anything from YouTube the whole 12 years I was on. So when people would say, man, you was cooning for money, who sent you? No, that's just me. But yeah, this manufactured gender war, where you have new players, like I said, and the arguments are different. The clout is different. The doxing, doxing wasn't really popping, at least as I know, back in '09, 10. Maybe they was doing it. It was just more like, it wasn't as, like, there's so many players now. Like, everybody has, I don't know if that's because of COVID or anything like that. But look, let me get to this, because enough of rambling. The gender war, educated lames, black men, who holds the torch in terms of masculinity. Now, Kevin Samuels, I can only take him in doses, and what I mean by that is that a lot of his content is the same. How much you weigh, what's your dress size, don't cut me off. Do you know where you at? No, you're not going to overtalk me. That's pretty much. I've got my feel of Kevin Samuels. The little instrumental starter music is cool, but his message is pretty much the same no matter. If you really think about it. But what I did listen to, because I listened to maybe the first 20 minutes, then it becomes redundant and the same old, you're gonna die alone. Okay. And I agree with everything in that terms, because a lot of women, and I will get into that in this video. But what was said in one of his videos was, the idea of if you ain't a thug, then you ain't a real NIGGA. That do street dudes hold the torch for alphaism or masculinity. And this is something that's been talked about by many others. I've heard it from the likes of Sergeant Willie Pete, who's still on here. It tells you how long, that brother's still doing commentary. And he was, yeah. But I mean, the message, they say the game doesn't change, only the players. And that's true. The game don't change. The game is the same, okay? Well, small modifications, but it's more like on some, you can add on, but you can't take away. And that's a concept in the Army that with this stuff being made up, new regulations. Well, the slogan was, well, you can always add on, but you can't take away. It's kind of like on a job application, they give you all the duties that you're supposed to do, that you're responsible for duties, and you basically your job description, and then at the bottom in small print it says, "and other duties assigned." Well, shit, what the hell does that mean? Taking out the damn garbage, washing windows. I mean, you throw that loose jargon, that very vague. It can mean any goddamn thing. Other duties assigned, so I can just, sit back in my office and just think of some bullshit. Go cut the grass with some scissors. I mean, so that's kind of like, with this whole gender war and the players, and I see a lot of additions. There's really no ceiling to this second gender war that I see going on. And it's stretching all like it has its tentacles every damn where. Like you can trace here, everybody's here talking this, but yeah, look, let me say this. I've never really done a video on educated lames. I understand the concept. It's more like I would be considered an educated lame. Painless would be considered an educated lame. I've never advocated or professed to be a street guy. I know the streets in terms of I'm familiar with the streets, but I am not a street dude. Okay, I know how. I know how to play dominoes. Not really good at spades, and I can shoot dice. Other than that, that's it, and that's only just by observation, rather. Yeah, this whole idea that street dudes have a stranglehold on masculinity. Look, let me tell you about street dudes. Because the thing is, well, street dudes, they're willing to go out here and blaze a glory. They don't have any, they'll just pull up on you and bounce out on you and do their stuff and get on. Or they're moving this much weight and blase, blase. Look, street dudes, they don't have a damn choice to do that. When you are faced with a situation when you don't have a goddamn choice, of course you're going to be brolic and brave and brazen and do all kind of craziness that we see manifested and kind of, glorified in the underworlds of the so-called black community as being brave and alpha, especially to the females. Them fools have no choice but to do that. See, us educated lames, what we did, and when I say educated lame, it's not a lame, like, it's more dudes that took the, I'm not even going to say the safe route. We just said we don't want to do that. We're going over here. Many of us come from two-parent households, okay? And I've spoken about that. I was thinking about that as I drove from the gym this morning. Because I think about stuff, on the fly. And I was just thinking, what do people see in the so-called black? For instance, Chicago. What does, because I know what the hell I see when I hear about Chicago. When I hear every 3 weeks, 7 killed, 14 injured, shootout, South Side, Austin neighborhood of Chicago. I know what I think as a black individual. But I think, and not that it really not that it really matters, but it does. I wonder, what does a white or Asian, someone who isn't black, thinks when they hear this? Well, let me start off with what I think. I automatically assume that they're a part of the so-called black community. And based off going on to the Gun Memorial website, and you can punch in Illinois, drop down, choose the city of Chicago, and you see an array of black faces that have met their demise, and they come in all ages, male and female. And I say to myself, well, my speculations were right. So what does a white person think when they see that? What does a Japanese person think when they see that? And then I was like, well, this is putting my lens back on. I think, well, I would suspect that someone's trying to really get down to the bottom of this in the comfort of their own home. In other words, they're speculating, how does a group of our society, and that being the African American population, which is probably the term that they would use, how are they so attached? How are they so, how is violence like this so normalized? And they probably get the brainstorming and all this stuff. But see, when Payless begins to do this, I look at, well, who's raising these individuals? Because to me, unnecessary killing, to me, is very feminine to me. It's usually out of emotion. This is why you have men. Men, just like when you're with your girl, or have you ever seen a woman in a gaggle and some men are fighting? Who's the loudest one? It's usually some female back there, running her damn mouth. Get him, hit him, shoot him. See, and, usually when that happens, other things, usually there's a guy that's trying to somewhat break it up. You never see women breaking up dudes fighting because they like this. But that's cause for a whole nother video. But unnecessary killing and maiming and violence is very feminine, really, if you really look at it. Men, while we fight wars, we squash a lot of wars. This whole idea that you put women in charge and somehow we won't have any more war, that's bullshit. That is bullshit. Because the emotional factor, the emotionalism, the lack of the inability to reason and come to a compromise. So with Painless knowing that, I put two and two together and say, well, such as the likes of Kevin Samuels, with data, if you have a segment of society that's 70% of the households are raised by single mothers, not single fathers, not one parent household, single mothers. And then you look at the same group that really is low at the bottom in terms of getting married. It's easy to see where these young boys are getting their real zest for violence and quick to temper for violence. It's from their damn mamas. The writing is on the wall. So, well, Painless, where you going with this? Well, where I'm going with this is that if these guys are the torchbearers for male masculinity in the so-called black community, where is this coming? I mean, the masculinity that these thugs are getting from their single mamas? No, that's emotionalism. See, when you beat somebody and you knock them to the ground and you begin to jump on their head and do all type of, see, that's very feminine. It's very emotional. See, if you knock somebody out, you need to knock somebody out. And I'm not advocating it, but act like you've been here, fool. Act like you didn't hit somebody. I can't, this time when you see these videos, these world stars, these TikTok videos, they fighting and the dude jumping on his head and busting. I mean, that's very feminine to me. That's it's rage, uncontrollable rage, which is a female trait. The inability to reason, the inability that you could kill this person by doing this. Instead of just doing your stuff, if he get the best of you, you walk off. You get the best of him. Y'all dap it up and move out. Not I'm going to go get my gun and come back. See, that's feminine to me. And I've been speaking about this shit. I've been talking about this. That this in the so-called black community now, I'm not talking about the Bumpy Johnsons, the gangsterism back in them days, where men decided to be, all right, we're going to run these numbers. It's just us as blacks. We're going to take on the Irish, the Italians, whoever want it, come get it. And men dressed in suits, which the irony in that, what I just said, and look, this is no taking up for Kevin Samuels. Like I said, he's what he is. But I gotta critique the critiquers of Kevin Samuels. I've heard people say this man is gay. And if he is gay, who gives a damn? Does it change the message? And I could give a damn. But the irony, I've seen people in the comment section say because this brother wears a suit, that he's gay. I want you to sit and think about that. This man wears a suit, so he's gay. And, does he have some tendencies? Yeah, but my question to you is, why is that what you're looking at? Why is that what you're looking at? Instead of chewing the meat and spitting out the bone. And I'm not here to argue whether he's gay or not. I mean, so a man who, and I say that because Bumpy Johnson wore a suit. Al Capone wore a suit. Whitey Bulger wore a suit. Frank Lucas wore a suit. Castellano wore a suit. Where you going? These were bona fide killer gangsters. That's the point I'm making. Well, Payla, you saying Kevin Samuels is a kid? No, fool. What I'm saying is that this is how backwards we are now. We're to the point to where those men typically came from two-parent households, yet they were still gangsters. And there was still respect. Because you know why? Men ran that shit. Men ran the numbers. Men were in charge of the neighborhoods. There was balance and order. But when you fast forward to that same so-called community with 70% of the households ran by, again, not single men or single parent, single women, the thuggism has changed. The gangsterism has changed. It's more emotional. It's more wild. It's more reckless. And I've talked about that there's tons of black men in the so-called community. And I've said this, quality versus quantity. This is where we at. You can find a bunch of brothers shifting through so-called black communities from Oakland to St. Louis to damn KC to Houston all the way up to Philadelphia. There's plenty of brothers, but the quality is shit. This is where we at. And if you really look at it, these brothers that are supposed to be the quote-unquote choice torchbearers for masculinity and being an alpha. Look, me on I was in the military. I can't tell you how many brothers I knew from New York, Philly, that were scared of the littlest shit. You take them out in them woods, they didn't know shit from Shinola. They were scared, they couldn't shoot. Many times, they were the hardest to train to shoot properly. Whereas you got white boy from Owensboro, Kentucky, or Eastern Tennessee who's been shooting since he was 6. Oh, it's nothing for him. He's shooting behind his back. He's on some Doc Holliday shit. While you, Mr. North Philly, yeah, you come from where they bang, bang, bust, bust, but your ass is scary still. You know? See, white people, they know you. They can go in your communities and thrive and do. But, you know, you big city cats, y'all can't come down to Alabama and get out with the get out. Ooh, it's hot out here. Man, where's Nathan's at? I want a coney dog. You know what I'm saying, y'all? Ain't no Nathan's here, brother, but we got a Crystal's around the corner. Where Nathan's at. Look, but what I'm saying is, y'all can't come down. I mean, and I'm generalizing, obviously, but for the most part, brothers, y'all can't come down here from Baltimore and New Jersey and get out with the get out. I've seen, I can't tell you how many times I've had cousins come down when I was growing up in Alabama, talking about they not going to go to them fields. They thought they was too good, or I ain't going to mess up my Reebok pumps or my Filas, and get their ass towed out the frame. And guess where they be at? In them fields. Huffing and puffing, eyes red as coals. But they there in them fields. So You know, and like I said, many of these thugs, they are scared of white people. You know, and I wonder about this youth claims of racism so much. If you just grow up around nothing, I often wonder where did the idea of racism, like you had a racist experience in your life, when most times black folks, y'all ain't going to school with white people. I mean, and I'm talking about, you know, even now. Like, where are you having these racial experiences at to where you just so qualified about race? Now, you a 21-year-old talking about, oh, I feel discriminated. Where the fuck have your 21-year-old ass been discriminated against? What life experience, young one, do you have? Please inform me. Oh, because somebody talk shit to you online? No, that does not qualify. I'm going to tell you what qualifies as racism. Having a racist white cop, sheriff in southwest Alabama who was pulling black men out of their homes at 1, 2 in the morning over some bullshit humbug rumor. That is racism. To where you had white signs only. That is racism. You go in there with a fucking bull ring in your damn nose, tattoos all over your face, a Fisher Price ass scribble scrabble resume, and you didn't get hired. Oh, it's because I'm black. That's bullshit. That is not racism. Maybe I'm being extreme. Maybe I'm not. But I would go so far as to say that is a lot of y'all. See, that's called butthurtism. I'm offendedism. Entitleism. All that fat shame, body shaming bullshit. Instead of just get your ass out there and run, you rather get on the internet and say how someone says I'm overweight. But you know what, I'm going down, I'm off in the weeds. I need to get back on the road. Come on, Painless, stir it on back in the road. Hold it in the road, Painless. But yeah, these guys, these thugs, they don't know how to operate. See, the thing with us, and if anything, because since white supremacy is the focal point, is the baddest thing that can happen to the planet, who the fuck is fighting, who the fuck is dealing with white people all the time? You guessed it, the educated lane. He's in the corporate world. He's in middle management, upper management. He's sometimes the only black face in this piece. So if anybody's fighting with, oh no, you're just up there trying to be, no. I can think of times where I've tried to hire brothers, but they, were on some shit that I just previously mentioned. Not to that extreme, but not doing what they were supposed to do. So, just to answer that, white supremacy, we got to fight white supremacy. I mean, you cannot fight white supremacy, Negro, if you are on the block at 2 p.m. shooting dice, ducking bullets, Negro. That is not fighting white supremacy. What's that got to do with anything, Palin? Well, if that is the personification of being masculine and being an alpha, according to the so-called black community, not doing a very good goddamn job at it. It's individuals like myself who are up there being the only black faces. I would say if anybody's fighting goddamn white supremacy, it's us. Shit, you niggas are looking over your shoulders in the mail room. Worried about shit. Nobody's stunning you in the mail room. peon. Remind me of that movie. What's that? Strictly Business. Was it Strictly Business? With Tommy Davidson and, and the pointy head dude from Cosby Show, Lisa Bonet's husband. Was it Lisa Bonet? Yeah. The fool that was in the Navy. The dude with the pretty teeth. That Colgate smile. But, yeah, but yeah, he was, or Chris, I think it was Tommy Davidson or Chris Rock. I think they both played male men or male sorters in their respective movies, Boomerang and Strictly Business. I wouldn't mind watching Strictly Business. That was a funny-ass movie. I love those 90s movies. But anyway, nobody's studying niggas in the mailroom. Y'all just drop off mail and keep moving. And many times, they don't even notice you. And I'm not saying, I'm not talking down, but that's what many of y'all are. Y'all, society is scared of you, but they're not scared of you. Society is scared of the black thug, the black male image of the thug, but then again, they're like, they have no fucking clout. They'll be dead by next week. And then somebody else will be here selling their little pack. Then he'll get smoked. And the cycle keeps going. What parents are they scared of your Brooks Brothers wearing suit ass? Well, I'm not saying this, but I can be of influence more than you can. I can be of influence more than you can. See, my longevity is longer than yours. My expiration date is longer than yours. So do not be fooled by this, that these brothers are just, no. That's not the case. They are not the poster child for masculinity. Yeah, if the shit hit the fan, I could be on some kamikaze shit if it got worse, if it got too bad. I could be on some, you know what? I like that. Watch. Give it to me. Sir, I don't know. Give me your motherfucking watch. If you pushed in the corner, yeah. But see, us as lames, we decided not to put ourselves in positions to do that. Well, parents, you experience the same. It don't matter. They just see another nigger anyway. Yeah. The obvious escaped me, fool. But I'm not going to make the situation worse, Negro. You think I don't know that they see, if I'm out kicking back, cargo pants, some nice summer shoes, nice polo shirt, summertime, nice pair. You think they don't say, oh, it's... Yeah, the likelihood, yes. See, y'all think us as educated land that we don't see things. Y'all think y'all are the only ones privy to certain information in regards to racism. Like y'all have, and I've spoken about all these way back in the day with Sarah Sunsetti, Polite, Sarnetta used to be on 125th Street arguing, looking like fool, talking about absolutely nothing. Like they the only ones privy to information. And then you're not getting nothing done. It's just a pissing contest about who knows who was the mummy in 4600 BC or some shit like that. and that's what it ended up being. Um, and don't get me on the Power Ranger guys. You know what? I've done commentary and confronted all these types of dudes on the internet. Um, and they just don't make no kinds of sense. But that's my video on that. Painless out.